There's a reason that from the moment you're born to this world, they keep you absolutely oblivious and clueless as to who and what you truly are as a cosmic celestial being, Homo luminous, not Homo sapien. If you always understand how the paradigm works, it's always the same. It's always about lies, illusions, and subterfuge, games, treachery, deception, betrayal, keeping you distracted away from focusing on something of substance. So you'd create something that would be integral in the diversification of this world and the raising of the conscious alignment of the vibration of the planet, the people, and all living creatures. That's the bottom line of their agenda, is to keep people divided, isolated, separate. That's why you have contactless delivery and all of the you-know-what distancing. I can't say it because it'll be an algorithm trigger. And quarantining, all of this stuff is designed for one reason, to keep people from doing what is intrinsically and vibrationally natural to them, is to commune with others, because human beings are social creatures. They want to get together. It's innate. It's intrinsic. It's primitive. This is hardwired in the very nature of your being once your soul assumes human form. So you have to understand, that's why they're trying to keep you isolated away from everybody. Because when people get together, they formulate the necessary energies of a collective consciousness that not only raises the vibration of the human planet, the human ethos, but the earth herself. I've said this before. Turning the earth into the brightest star in all of the universe. But their agenda is to turn it into the darkest star in the galaxy. They want to turn it into a penal colony. And that's the truth. To give you an example of the power of high vibrational energy, I believe I've used this example before, but let me use it again in this instance. Just go to a sporting event or a rock concert, wherever you have a large gathering of people. And when something amazing happens, they're cheering, they're happy, they're applauding, they're excited, they're elated. It's just sublime bliss. And that energy that they're transmitting unconsciously is formulating a collective consciousness that you are becoming a part of, because you are an extension of the energy of this thing. And you're absorbing it, and you're vibing off of it. And it feels like you're so high. You know, like when you're at a baseball game and the home team is winning, everybody's like, yeah! You can literally feel like you could just jump out of your skin. That's the power that they're trying to suppress. If you haven't figured it out, people, human beings, they're not human beings. Homo luminous, not Homo sapien. Because we're all aliens to this planet, brothers and sisters. You were brought here. You're not from here. You are not the body. This earth is not your home. This life is an illusion. This is a holographic, three-dimensional, simulated, illusionary, pixelated simulator. That is what you're seeing here. It's a game. It's like a big video game. But anyway, they're trying to keep you away from everybody. That's why people are staying in their homes, locked down, isolation, all of these things, contactless delivery. Are you catching on? Why you're staring at your cell phone constantly? Because your cell phone is giving your subconscious mind orders. What to do, what not to do. That's why they refer to it as a smartphone. Because it is smarter than you are. They're trying to prevent people from getting together and gathering and putting their energies together and formulating a collective consciousness that brings awareness, enlightenment, ascension, awakening. They don't want this to happen. They've been trying to prevent this for years, because if it does, then you will come to the realization that you don't need them. And you never did. You won't have to be solely dependent on a system that is poisoning you from the inside out. Because then you'll realize, I don't need you. I never did, and I never will. And that's what they're trying to prevent. That's why they go to great lengths to distract you. Hey, look what's on the news. Hey, these two presidential candidates are fighting it out. Oh, let me put my attention over there. Not realizing that wherever your attention goes, your energy goes. And wherever your energy goes, you become an extension of that stuff. And if what you are connecting with is demonic and satanic and malevolent in nature, guess what, folks? You're going to be just like it. Because like attracts like is garbage. Energy always recognizes itself. As I have said before, the law of attraction is garbage. That's just reptilian science that was contrived to convolute your physical mind. Because that's the one element that they can and do control, but they cannot control your soul. That is the life force essence of your being. You don't attract anything. You become a vibrational equivalent to whatever it is out there. And the two will recognize each other because you're now in the same vibrational environment, the same atmosphere, the same field of energy. It's like having 5 buildings next to each other. You have a library, a gym, you have a restaurant, you have a bar, and you have a school. Go into one of those buildings, and that is the vibrational environment that is conducive to the energy and the elements that are in that area that occupy that space. So whatever equivalent you have become, that's what you are a perfect match for. Verbatim, you are kindred to the frequencies of these things. You're not attracting anything. How could you? Time, space, and distance are illusions. It's an illusion. Time is an illusion. It is a construct that has been contrived by reptilians to do exactly what it does to you. Artificially induced volatility in the form of stress, anxiety, nervousness, tension. I'm running out of time. I'm late. I gotta go. Panic. You induce that energy, and that's why you stress yourself out, and that's why people die prematurely. All kinds of cancers. You manifest tangible physical ailments by inducing that energy in you, and they get you to do it to yourself. Why do you think this country runs on caffeine? Think about it for a minute. Caffeine accelerates your heart rate. You can get a heart attack if you have too much of it. The faster you go. The faster you go in life, the more everything around you becomes a blur. They don't want you to meditate. They don't want you to be calm. They don't want you to be relaxed and centered and focused. Because why? That's when you begin to nullify the illusions of the malevolence of these holographic projections. And all the BS gets cut. And that's when you start to go, whoa, wait a minute. Everything I've been taught and told, this doesn't make sense. This does not make sense. And that's when you come to the realization within yourself that to journey within is to cross over to the other side. That's how you break the 3-dimensional barrier. Nothing, and I'm going to say this again, nothing that you believe that you don't have can be found outside yourself. The universe, when the universe created you, created you whole and complete. You don't need anybody. You are one. You are whole. You are complete. They, the system, have brainwashed you into believing that you have to seek happiness, search for love, pursue your dreams, find the truth, go look for peace. Everything inferring it can only be found outside you. And that's why people don't realize their own power, because you're being lied to. Once you realize you are the miracle that you have unfortunately been looking for outside yourself, that's when the absolute whole paradigm shifts. And they don't want this to happen. This is what they've been trying to fight against for centuries. Years ago, they didn't have the advent of technological components and devices and appliances, such as cell phones and the internet. So how did they control people? The written and the spoken word. That's the oldest form of propaganda. And that's how they manipulate your mind. They manipulate you through the power of suggestive influence to believe that what they're saying is the truth. If you doubt what I'm saying, check out something called the placebo effect. That is the mind going to work and making this a reality. If somebody convinces you of something and you believe it, your energies will be focused on making that a reality. And then you have your belief systems that reinforce this. And then your 5 senses go, well, how could this not be true? Because everything concurs. Not realizing that this is a holographic illusion outside of you. Everything they implanted in you as far as your narrative and your information is a lie. And they've been manipulating your brainwaves from day one. And there's a reason why they don't want people to come together. Because that's when you start to raise the vibration, not only of the human ethos, but of the planet. Did you ever wonder why it is that when 2 people show affection in public, everybody's like, ew, disgusting, get a room, gross, inappropriate. But it's okay for that same crowd condemning those 2 people for showing love and affection to watch 2 guys bludgeon each other to death in the street. Watch the same paradigm. Happens every time. Have two people, whatever they are, two men, two women, a man and a woman, doesn't matter because love is love and God doesn't make mistakes. Showing public affection, public displays of affection, and watch the reactions of the crowd around them. Eyes rolling, all the garbage. But these are the same people that don't have any problem going to an MMA match and watching two grown men bludgeon each other to death in an octagon. That's socially acceptable. You have to understand, these are Satanists you're dealing with. They want you to revere cruelty, at the same time condemn affection, condemn love. You don't see anybody showing affection anymore. How many people in the public are holding hands, hugging and kissing? You don't see it anymore. I remember when I was a kid in the 70s, all you saw was affection. People holding hands, showing affection, kissing, warmth, compassion, kindness, showing love for each other and for themselves. Those days are gone. You are being dehumanized. You are being desensitized. You're being programmed to be a cybernetic automaton, not only with the food you're eating, but the social programming that you're connecting with the social content that you're consuming every day on these media platforms. They are reconditioning your mind into becoming something that is unrecognizable. You are neither organic, natural, or biological anymore. You are synthetic, artificial, and mechanical. Because how many people have compassion anymore? I remember a couple of days ago, I heard a news broadcast. A woman fell down in the street and she was dying. Nobody came to help her. What were they doing? Staring at their cell phones while they were walking over her. And the woman was losing her life. In all of my years, I have personally witnessed the collective intellectual level of this planet slowly devolving to such a deteriorated degree that very few, if any, individuals actually possess a proactive autonomous intelligence. They don't possess the cerebral capacity for self-thought, let alone self-action, because the minds of the few control the minds of the many. When everyone is thinking the same, no one is thinking at all. And when you're hooked up to their hive mind collective, you're not thinking for yourself. They are doing your thinking for you. A la your cell phone, your tablet, your laptop, your television, whatever you are hooked into electronically, because you don't understand the process at work here on a subcellular level and a metaphysical level. This is stuff that's imperceivable. The energy that's flowing from your cell phone to your subconscious mind, you can't see it, you can't hear it, you can't perceive it, you can't detect it, but it is there. And those frequencies of those energies that you're connected with, they are malevolent in nature. You're talking about satanic hexes and curses, demonic incantations and spells that have been woven into the very fibers of these transmissions that your subconscious mind is soaking up like a sponge. It activates the reptilian portion of your brain. All you have to do is look at a child before they play video games and after they play video games and watch the demeanor change drastically. They become very violent, agitated, short-tempered, perturbed, volatile, ready to fight. That's because they were soaking up all of that energy for so long, and it transmuted the natural state of humanity of being biological, natural, and organic into something unrecognizable. So that's what you continually expose yourself to every day. And that's the reason why they don't want you to unite and come together as a whole. One love. They discourage that. They discourage love. You're not even allowed to say the name God anymore. You don't see where all of this is going? How this is leading up to something catastrophic for human beings? How the agenda of AI is going to make humanity obsolete and then extinct? Because they don't need you. So human beings need to awaken themselves to the realization of what's actually going on through propaganda and the agendas that they've had since 1911, or even before then, probably for centuries. I'm not talking doom and gloom, folks. I'm not prophesizing the end of the world, apocalypse, post-apocalyptic wasteland, doomsday, end of days, Armageddon. I'm not into that stuff. I'm not a fearmongerer. Hurry up, the food shelves will be bare, they're starving us out, and all that stuff. Listen, you have the power. They know you have the power. Why? Because there's a small amount of them and a large amount of you. Just run the numbers. Humanity is into the billions, and they know it. They know that if in the event that you were to awaken yourselves, they would be extinct. This is an anti-intellectualism war going on. That's why they're dumbing you down. They don't want you to know your true power. They don't want you to know what you're actually capable of. You are a master manifester, capable of manifesting greatness and miracles anytime, anywhere, utilizing your unlimited transformative potential energy. And that energy is source. You are source, expressing itself in this form temporarily until you go somewhere else or you have to come back. But the object lesson of being here is that you must break the third dimensional barrier or else you're going to come back. You'll continually reincarnate and incarnate again and again and again. Deja vu is past life experience. You are supposed to take with you all of the accumulated experiences and the wealth of knowledge that you have gathered in your past lives and usher it over into this life. But unfortunately, the human mind is such that it was never privy to the conversations that your soul had with God prior to your earthly incarnation. So all of that information is forgotten. So you find yourself in a place you go, wait a minute, this looks familiar, deja vu. A little heads up from your soul to say, we've been this way before. You know, wakey, wakey. Sometimes life has to shake you to wake you. Sometimes you must be taken to an extreme in order to get your attention. Don't let it get that far. Just don't be lulled into a false sense of security as to what they're telling you. Because these things are happening in imperceivable increments. They're slowly chiseling away things. Your constitutional rights, your inalienable rights, your civil liberties, your human rights, they're slowly being nipped away from you. And you can see where all of this is leading up to. So I hope that this video helped you on some level. Just understand that you are the greatest power that you have never realized because nobody motivated you to realize it. So how could you know something if they never told you? But ask yourself this question before I go. If they never told you who and what you are, who and what would you be? Think about that for a minute, because they gave you your identity. I'm a man, I'm Caucasian, I'm this, I'm Italian, I'm German, I'm English, Spanish, Irish, whatever the case is. I'm this, I'm Republican, I'm Democrat. They implanted that in you. But if they never told you any of this, who and what would you be? You're exactly what they want you to be. And that's exactly what you follow. A program, a paradigm, a pattern. That's it. Have a blessed day. I really hope that this video helped you in some way. God bless you, because God already has.